good evening, Galveston. How's everybody doing tonight? Oh, hell yeah. Happy Halloween to everybody. Now, last time I was in Galveston was, a couple of years ago, and, well, some of you might have noticed that I've aged a little bit since then. And what has aged me so prematurely is the way that we think about folk and country music in our current intellectual and social spheres. That can age somebody prematurely. I don't know if you know this scientific fact. Because occasionally folk and country music gets typified as this kind of cottagecore nightmare, bemoaning the loss of a past that never really existed, a time of kings and queens and robber barons and when women were women and men were men and all that bullshit that never really happened, So tonight, before we begin, I just wanted to set the stage wherein the veil is so thin to tell you that I'm only interested here tonight in total material reality and absolute truths, okay? I want to remember the times when country and folk music had to do with real material conditions, when it had to do with winning us the 40-hour work week, when it had to do with winning us like not dying of the black lung before we turned 30 years old. I want to remember when the Nintendo 64 had Donkey Kong on it still. So towards that end, friends, I would like for us to kind of christen this Halloween-y evening with the phrase to invoke the ghosts, the phrase, I remember. Can we say that when I move my hands again? Let's try it. I remember. Okay. Now, with all of our Texas Gulf Coast non-gender specific cojones, I'm going to turn around and I'll count to 3 and I'll throw my hands into the air and we'll say, I remember one more time, a lot louder. And at that point, we will all transform. 1, 2, 3. I remember.
All right. Oh, I feel about 100 years younger. After 29 years, I can say I never thought it'd turn out this way. Stumble and a stutter, stutter and a cry. Ain't gonna figure out a reason why. Song hurts my throat and the banjo cuts my side. Hear the road crying out through the railroad ties. Road crying out through the railroad ties. They're singing, well, love, your light don't show down by the truck stop highway glow. Lord knows where I go when the road cries out what the rocks don't know. Road cries out what the rocks don't know. Well, all my friends in Arkansas, alone in Maine, 6 to 1, half dozen's the same. Back bay sailing across the Great Divide, call it Mississippi Deep, Rappahannock wide. Angels' wings on a Walmart sign, angels' wings on a Walmart sign. Gonna tell them, well, love, your light don't show down by the truck stop highway glow. Lord knows where I go when the road cries out what the rocks don't know. Road cries out what the rocks don't know. Well, Kansas City Rib Shack, baby, you're mine. Give me the pig, the cow, and the swine. My weights, my love, my shimmy, my shine. Damn, I found Jesus in a barbecue line. Damn, I found Jesus in a barbecue line. I told him, well, love, your light don't show down by the truck stop highway glow. Lord knows where I go when the road cries out what the rocks don't know. Road cries out what the rocks don't know. Well, I'd like to see the world in living color. One color's just the absence of the other to get the whole spectrum of horror and elation. Call good time numbers at a Conoco station. Good time numbers at a Conoco station. And tell them, well, love, your light don't show down by the truck stop highway glow. Lord knows where I go when the road cries out what the rocks don't know. Give it to me. Road cries out what the rocks don't know. Road cries out what the rocks don't know. Thanks, friend. when I'm drunk to the leaves. We talk about Memphis, living so rough, and the strength in his voice makes me weak at the knees. Not sure what I saw, or I looked in his eyes. We ain't star-crossed just 'cause stars might align. Ain't proper high lonesome till we're almost too sad to be true. What happened in Memphis made too much sense. There's a part of my life she don't know exists. Why is living a lie more easy than life on the fence? Why is living a lie more easy than life on the fence? I ain't crying in public till it's perfectly lovely. I tried to fit in, I just can't in your town. I swear I ain't trying to become nobody. I tried to be hip, but it's tearing me down. No tide without tempest, skip dinner, skip breakfast. Drove halfway to Texas, thinking on you. Hidebound and determined I could unlearn this. She'd make me shiny and new. What happened in Memphis made too much sense. There's a part of my life she don't know exists. Why is living a lie more easy than life on the fence? Why is living a lie more easy than life on the fence? He's calling me up. He's sure I might love him. Why is living a lie more easy than life on the fence? Thank you, friends. It's such an honor to be in this gorgeous listening room on this freakiest of nights. Thank you so much for abandoning your children and leaving them out to let the bikers find them and take them. We appreciate you. How many of you drove from a long ways away? Got one of you, two of you, maybe, yes, maybe. If you drove from Houston, it's a long ways away. That counts. How many of you drove from at least Houston? Hell yeah, okay, we really appreciate you. I mean that. I know it's a short distance until there's a rainstorm and a bunch of bikers. And I love a small town, and I like Galveston a lot. I came to love small towns through growing up in Kansas, but there's a couple small towns I've grown to hate over time. And it means that, because I want to like a small town, I want to find out what's charming. It means it has to do something to me for me to hate it. So I only hate Aspen and one little town called Texarkana right now. I shouldn't have to explain to you what Aspen is like, but and why I don't like it. Maybe Jackson Hole. You might be able to throw Jackson Hole in there, but I don't even know if you can call that small anymore, Anyhow, so before I make a long list, the town I want to sing about is called Texarkana, and it combines the worst aspects of the state that we're in here, along with the worst aspects of Arkansas and the worst aspects of Louisiana, and sits on the border and is surrounded on three sides by dry counties. So you can't even buy party liquor on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, let alone Sunday. So a buddy of mine told me a story about that town, about kind of getting clean at his mom's house. And I said, man, this would be a great folk song. And he said, if you steal this story from me, you have to include every detail about my favorite chicken. So this has got love, death, mama, drugs, redemption, and mostly chickens. Chickens in the backyard, preserves and mason jars. Dry county dust has got me feeling kinda low. Cats on the windowsill, I'm feeling shaky still. Mama's in the kitchen singing sweet by and by. She can't quite hold the tune, she's dancing around the room. I disappoint her, she'll still carry on. Thank God forgiveness comes in so many shapes. I've been traveling in anger, trying to ditch the shakes. You get high in Texarkana, you can still wake up in grace. That's Mama in the kitchen singing sweet by and by. Fox got the chickens, yo, was too little, never heard him squall. One golden pullet's left, she's the queen of the roost. Sitting on her compost pile, looking out her one good eye. I'm trying to hold her, she won't be held. She's my softy girl, too soft in an angry world. Oh, fat flesh is slaughtered, hollow wings will break. Thank God forgiveness comes in so many shapes. I've been traveling in anger, trying to ditch the shakes. You go blind in Texarkana, you can still wake up in grace. That's Mama in the kitchen singing sweet by and by. Mother's in the ground, she's all ancient wisdom now. Hope she's all right with this ugly brown dress. We sent the old girl on with guitars and gospel songs. There's things a microphone just can't pick up. Something like quiet prayer comes from everywhere. Something like a loan you know you never can pay back. Thank God forgiveness comes in so many shapes. I've been traveling in anger, trying to ditch the shakes. If you die in Texarkana, you can still wake up in grace. That's Mama in the kitchen singing sweet by and by. That's Mama in the kitchen singing sweet by and by. Chickens in the backyard, preserves in mason jars. Dry county dust has got me feeling kinda low. Just a little bit more monitor all around, just a little kick to the whole thing. Joe? Yeah, okay, cool, nice. Can we give it up for our intrepid sound gent back there? Working his butt off. Only my second time here, and what I remembered, I didn't remember your name or what you looked like, but I remember, damn, the sound was good in here. So, I guess that was like 4 years ago now. Were any of you at that show? A couple of you. Actually, I see a couple of you back there. Poor bastards, thanks for coming again. My God. There's so many good ghosts in this room. I can feel them coursing up directly through the grundle into my spirit. And if you feel it too, you might feel it through the rest of the night. I tried to move out onto an intentional community not all that long ago. I failed to do that because it turned out I was better at swinging a banjo than I was at swinging a hammer. But at this intentional community in very rural Arkansas, I learned a lot about myself. I learned that there were a lot of parts of my brain that were taken up that I didn't want to sacrifice that were taken up, right? I didn't ever know how to grow any food or fix a road or, hell, run a backhoe, anything like that, but I did know the SpongeBob SquarePants theme song and, you know, whether or not the McRib was coming and going, right? A nice reshuffling of values happened for me way out there in the woods. I mean that. If I tried to get a handle on where I was on the ideological spectrum, the problem would be that I would ask, like, hey, are you guys so far to the left way out here in the woods that you ended up on the right? Or are you so far to the right you came out on the left? What kind of weird gun-toting library building stuff is this that you're doing out here? And they would usually say something like, it's currently hay season, college, so why don't you just help us bale hay right now? Throw a bunch of hay into this back of this truck. So it was like functional, right? In a place that had been totally abandoned by social and civic services where the government never showed up to do anything. It was up to people to take care of themselves. I really respected that. We also played a game out there called Critter Critter. And if you happen to be driving down a back road and you saw a critter crossing the road, you could point at it and say, critter, critter. And if you were the first person to do that, you could assign somebody else in the back of the truck to take off an article of clothing and chug their beer. So if you need, those of you that came from Houston, if you need a game to play on the highway, offer that to you freely. This is called Critterland. One.
I could have been a businessman. I was too hot-headed, and I never had the money. And I kinda got arrested. My sweet old folks thought I'd make a pretty decent one of those. I still live the kind of life where people judge on your clothes. Now it's 40 miles of back road on all-terrain tires. That little blue hymnal sitting open all the while, singing songs to a God I've met but do not know, making wagers on the critters that we'll see crossing the road. Yeah, the sparrow on the wing taught me to find you, and the possum knows her own mind more than I do. I'm here for all the love that I can stand. Take me to Critterland. In the decade of our loving, we've grown to not so young. I've come to know the seasons by the lashing of your tongue. But the propane gently sputters, there's spring water in our tap. Why can't we feel the peace of this sweet dog upon our laps? Oh, the granny witch and herbalist got remedies for us. It's a tincture and a prayer poured down the holler of our guts. On the homestead in the pine beds we've grown our holy power, while laying bare like critters there, hour by loving hour. Yeah, the sparrow on the wing taught me to sing, and the possum keeps her young closer than I do. I'm here for all the grief that I can't stand. Take me to Critterland. Oh, I never thought I could love like this. You might call me a queer or a communist, but I'll go along to get along, darling. It feels so right. 'Cause why have a God if no one is saved? I think love is a burden that ain't brave. I'll live and die forever there, oh, right there in that divide. 'Cause it's hard to say what I have learned from all these hills and hymns. We're dying and we're singing, I love you and we've sinned. And when marauders come, 'cause the apocalypse is nigh, want my rifle on my shoulder, I love her by my side. I wanna be the kind of man that might stand his ground and die. Take my fiddle and my good hat, I'll go out in style. Gonna do it for my family, not for glory, not for God, in a war that's raging between the haves and the have-nots. Sparrow on the wing taught me to spite for you, and the possum keeps her teeth sharper than I do. You should bury me where I make my last stand, at the battle at Critterland. At the battle at Critterland. Maybe split the difference back down. You guys feeling okay?
Feeling great.
Okay, all right. I got to play that last song on the Grand Ole Opry recently, which was weird. I appreciate you paying $30 for this ticket because that's a higher ticket price than usual, but you're in a small room. This is an intimate environment, right? This is a once in a lifetime or opportunity unless you come see us in Dallas, right? And it's a really special room. But the Grand Ole Opry was like $90 to $120 to $150 to $200, and you're sitting on a piece of concrete, and you just paid $200 for a Bud Light or something like that. I don't know. And it's mostly truck commercials, and then a weird folk singer comes on and does a song about critters. I've never had more applause than at the Opry for the line, they think I'm a queer and a communist. Well, really it was laughter, it wasn't applause. And I almost wanted to stop and be like, guys, this is a real anxiety that I have. I wouldn't want to be a part of a club that would have me as a member. I think that's Marx Groucho that said that. I've never had as much like almost standing ovation as I have at the line. I want to be the kind of man that might stand his ground and die, too. That was like, they were in their 70s, so they didn't stand up, but I could tell they wanted to, you know. And I almost wanted to stop again and be like, guys, I don't mean pull your 6-gun on somebody in the parking lot tonight. I mean, maybe find something worth living for that because you have something worth dying for. So Gestalt is alive and well. Familiar with this term Gestalt? I just learned this. Gestalt is, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, so you have to tell me, right? It's like your song is up for interpretation. You got to tell me what it means, right? Because I don't always know. So whatever they got out of it, actually, I really liked it. I thought it was wonderful. I want to do one about my grandmother. This is called The Great Depression. And my grandmother just passed away shortly after I wrote this song. And she was in her 90s. Her name was Dolores, and that's how you know she was born during the Great Depression, because the word Dolores means, anybody know, pain. Can you imagine bouncing a baby on your knee and being like, what should we name our beautiful baby? How about pain? You have to be hungry, right? So this is for the Great Depression, how we're in the inheritors of it, and what we maybe should do with it. 2, 3. Trouble in the darkening sky, he saw it as a boy, from great-granddad's covered wagon, from the crux of Illinois. For the promise of the daffodils amongst the hard limestone, they carved the die of fortune out of buffalo bones. They all wandered o'er the salty seas, the prairies wide and more, just to make a foolish man like me this darken in your door. If the Great Depression made us, there's no need to despair. I won't waste a single moment of the work that brought me here. From the needle-pricking mothers that were never taught to read, to the barefoot, hungry soldiers that enlisted at 16. Oh, in my dumb debasement, I still get great relief that on the lamb and on the dole they counted themselves free. And I have hustled towards the overpass to sleep there in the rain. I have settled with my pocket knife to carve out all their names. If the Great Depression made us, there's no need to despair. I won't waste a single moment of the work that brought me here. to the hold beneath the ship, to the wheat fields out in Oregon, to the first night that we kissed, from the darkness of the coal mine to the brightest factory floor, to when our kin a better life is still worth dying for. And I still cry my eyes out every time I dare to touch that spirit. And if this is my small lot in life, I'm gonna love it like I mean it. If the Great Depression made us, there's no need to despair. I won't waste a single moment of the work that brought me here. Oh, the blood is strong with victory that brought us our despair. I won't waste a single moment of the love that brought me here. Thank you, friends. That's the Great Depression historically, and the Great Depression that I feel in bed in the morning sometimes. We owe a lot to each other, I think. I've been traveling around for about 10 years now. And I thought that by now I would have like a message for the youth of America or something like that, you know, like a Weltanschauung. I've been learning a lot of words recently. Weltanschauung apparently is artist statement. And I feel ennui about not having a Weltanschauung. Familiar with this word ennui? Ennui is when you're pissed off and you don't know why. So I've got no Weltanschauung, and I've got ennui about it, and I use Gestalt so you can help me figure it out. I think that adds up. I can't tell. If that's not je ne sais quoi, I don't know what is. C'est la vie, I guess.
La vie.
C'est la vie.
La vie.
C'est la vie.
La vie.
What does IDK even stand for?
I don't know.
That's why I'm asking. I don't know either. We're running a real tight operation here. So I get ennui that I need Gestalt about when I'm traveling around and I don't know where I'm at, but I can echolocate based on things I don't want to know. You know, like, man, I know I'm in the Cleveland Airport Metroplex right now because there's no place where a Taco Bell would be zoned so close to a Marriott besides that, right? Sad facts, not regional facts. This song's got a lot of that ennui in it. It's called A Higher Lonesome. 1, 2. I've been turned around in Tidewater, all alone in Pueblo. Been driving with a death wish down the mountains on my phone. Half the places I've been might be laced with psilocybin. Been dreaming of a country I saw at the rodeo. Packed a bowl in the Bojangles, 'cause Tennessee's so cold. Charlottesville by sundown's a nightmare to behold. There's an old-time dame with a twisty name, I couldn't read it if she wrote it. She's got a black powder revolver, wants to see if it's still loaded. I've been called by a higher lonesome than low as low can be. You can write it on my tombstone, outlaw life looks pretty wholesome when you pay the price in foolishness it takes to get you free. Higher lonesome, kill the bitter parts of me. Codependence, law, and Al-Anon, they all know how I felt for you. Felt it in my guts before 2 steps in Philadelphia. With every coin the joiners get, they're farther from the pain of it. All the hurting that we did, it's a shame no coin will pay for it. Think I fell in love again on a walk in City Park. Jodorowsky on the tiny screen and zigzags in the dark. And I figured I should let it go or give it a couple days. Ton of bricks in Minneapolis, she don't know my last name. I've been called by a higher lonesome than low as low can be. You can write it on my tombstone, outlaw life looks pretty wholesome when you pay the price in foolishness it takes to get you free. Higher lonesome, kill the bitter parts of me. Saw the darkness coming at me in a Jeff City motel. There was writing on the mirror, said you messed up, so go to hell. And Cormier's pills were on me still, and her letter just half read. By the time the sun was up, I just got breakfast instead. I wish I could call the old folks that aren't with us anymore. I feel Granny dancing recklessly at the Floyd County store, and the artist has his suffering, and the gods will have their pain. By the time the ride is over, I know I'll ask to ride again. See the snowfall in Wyoming, strung out on Jono's coke. Keep a mailbox in Nebraska, so I know that Laura knows. She can write a letter once a year and say that we're still close. I can put my sins on Benjamin and hear the songs he wrote. I don't want to hit rock bottom, just see how deep it goes. Shine a light on 6 feet under, so I ain't afraid to go. Proof in fact it is as lovely as can be. When higher lonesome kills the bitter parts of me. I've been called by a higher lonesome, kill the bitter parts of me. Oh, higher lonesome, kill the bitter parts of me. Thank you. The tragic thought just occurred to me that some of you were within spitting distance. If I spit at you, you can spit back. I apologize. I don't mean to be a spitter. I'm just trying to enunciate the nonsense. But you can't get the gestalt unless I do the Weltanschauung with you in a very well enunciated manner. I've decided to speak nonsense because recently people have been, there's AI bots out there. You familiar with this phenomenon? You get a message from your favorite artist, but they can steal your cadence now. So they can talk just as weird as I do. So now I'm determined to make a lot less sense, just to outsmart AI writers as they come around, you know what I mean? It's gonna be a good time. I'm gonna start making the weirdest possible moves, dropping a comedy album in the middle of winter and stuff like that, you know? I started going back to church not all that long ago when I moved out onto that intentional community. And it wasn't really because I had suddenly become a believer in the way I hadn't been since I was a kid. It was actually because if I didn't go to church, I didn't get lunch. And the grandparents out there made really excellent victuals, and you did not want to miss that. So I'd slough in hungover, and I'd sing with everybody. And I came to love the hymns in there again. I really did. In the Baptist hymnal, this little hymnal called the Heavenly Highways. And the best thing about going down there was probably picking up the way that the old arguments were being made. When I was a kid, I wasn't able to make the arguments back if I disagreed with something that happened in church. But as an adult, it was like, man, maybe I could write a hymn that the old folks would understand. So I wrote this hymn for the old folks out there, and it's called I Want No Children. And it's a hymn about not wanting any children, in case that's not enough on the nose. And the idea that maybe the state and baby Jesus can keep their nose out of it. 2, 3. The truth is that I want no children. Mama says there's still time yet. I want no kid, no kind, no future. When I don't love what I am. They say that mankind has dominion over sea and land and air. I member of the band that I will introduce. To my left, to your right, on all 10 toes and all 10 fingers simultaneously, and adding, unbelievably, all 32 teeth. You can count them yourself. My friend, weighing in at 98,000 pounds of pure, unadulterated crack cocaine. Our bandmate, Ms. Sophie Mae Wellington.
Well, get up, gent, shimmy up the holler, down and back for a silver dollar. It's a pretty big haul for pretty small pay, down from upriver in the snow and the rain. Working for a living is a pretty rough deal, and Jesus on the main line is hell on wheels. Whoa, ball that jack, till my money comes back. Down on the down and the down and back. I'll be right here till my money comes back. Got all the timber, mine, all the coal. Well, half of West Virginia's a fish in the hole. Big mama sitting on the piglets in the pen. You can't get to heaven in a big black Benz. Whoa, ball that jack, till my money comes back. Down on the down and the down and back. I'll be right here till my money comes back. In the woods without a dim trace, I'll never forget, oh, what's his face? Small town gossip is the wrath of God. Safe fish, cut bait, spare me the rod. Whoa, ball that jack, till my money comes back. Down on the down and the down and back. I'll be right here till my money comes back. I want to be sad, but danged if I'll try. The designated hitter is a goddamn lie. Whole lot of doing between done and needs did, between a crazy old man and a messed up kid. Whoa, ball that jack, till my money comes back. Down on the down to the down and back. I'll be right here till my money comes back. Whoa, ball that jack, till my money comes back. Down on the down to the down and back. I'll be right here till my money comes back.
Thank you, friends. Okay. I want to play a little button accordion number. Go ahead. I'd be amiss if I was in Texas and didn't play button accordion. And it's up here like a weapon. You have to use it. You know, you can't just hang a gun on the wall in a play. You know this rule. There's a gun hanging on the wall. Somebody needs to get shot by the third act. That's basically what the accordion is. It's a perfect metaphor, the accordion, for our current social and political dynamic in this country, because you squeeze both sides against the center. You don't care how much everybody hates it. I started playing accordion because I got tired of my dad making fun of me for playing the banjo at home all the time when I was a kid. That's every accordion joke I know. If you know any good ones, I'll take them. Oh, I want to do an old vaquero song. I'm not a cowboy. This is kind of a cowboy drag act. But I have been lucky to learn from some actual ropers. I learned this number from an old guy named Steve Cormier. And he got the story from an archive, and the archive got it from a Works Progress Administration poet, and the poet got it from an immigrant farmer, eventually turned immigrant farmer, an indigenous farmer that became an immigrant when he had to try to become a United States citizen. A guy named Antonio Lopez, born out in Agua Fria, New Mexico in the 1890s, and lived on his father's land and had a great big water company come through with the the transnational railroad and kind of buy up his land for pennies on the dollar. It's a really similar thing to what Nestle is doing on the Indian subcontinent right now, right? This is a 200-year-old American story, but this thing is still playing out, where slowly as the wars for oil in our 21st century place turn into wars for water, right? You begin to see the similarities between that and the way that water was taken away from the people that originally owned it or shared it in our country. So this is the life, hard times, and eventual displacement of a man named Antonio Lopez, a story I think only a couple people still know, and I'm proud to share with you. It's called Todo pasa en este mundo, or Everything Passes in This World. One, Antonio in Agua Fria, we had all the water we'd need, and the willows grew on the Rio, all the way down the Santa Fe. And I tended my padres' cattle all the way from the Arroyo long ago. For a month I slept on the saddle, my hair like a wild buffalo. Yeah, El Indio Antonio Dominguez played soft, sweet, and low for the dancers from all of the ranches. Todo pasa en este mundo. I loved to be home when the mills were turning, when everyone brought in their cane, and the pacifiers were burning, and children played among the beams. Those were the best of the good times. Oh, memories my spirit must uphold. As the cane boiled out, oh, we danced about, and marvelous stories got told. Yeah, El Indio Antonio Dominguez played soft, sweet, and low for the dancers from all of the ranches. Todo pasa en este mundo. Young, oh, we had all the water we'd need. Now the water companies come and take it away. And now we grow our corn in our fields by the grace of God's green. And I know God knows what He's doing. How everything's gonna come, it's gonna go. I'll live and I'll die under the same sky. Todo pasa en este mundo. Y el Indio Antonio Dominguez played soft, sweet, and low for the dancers from all of the ranches. Todo pasa en este mundo. Todo pasa en este mundo. Todo pasa en este mundo.
It's not really a democracy. I'm just uncomfortable telling anybody what to do. Much smarter folk singer than myself said that the essence of contract is agreement, not employment and not coercion. I think about that all the time. I want to do something brand new, just for fun. Challenge myself in a gorgeous listening room like this. I have been lucky. I was lucky when I moved down to Arkansas to encounter a lot of ways of thinking that I had never thought of before. And so I want to do a song called Winged Victory. That's about a donkey and about a mule. And the mule was named Beauty, and the donkey was named Winged Victory. The hell of a name for a donkey. He'd come running up to you, and that was his victory dance. I liked it.
I'm oft alone, I'm rarely lonely. The open road's my one and only. The nightly cold comes on so fast. True love doesn't last. I squeeze to make it cry or sing. I got the song, I lost the thing. It's hard to think of frost when flowers bloom. but at least the daffodils hang down and wear an almost human frown. How that trouble chases me from room to loving room. They said progress was a fact of earth, that rhetoric's as cruel as dirt. I don't want to work a dead-end job, a penny saved, a penny lost. So I'll owe no one will me. Shake my hand, set me free. I cannot force a man to mind his word. They said, won't you take it easy, son? The war is over, rich folks won. But I got lucky, I stayed raw. I held glory in my paws. When I met a mule named Beauty in the state of old Missouri, and a donkey named Winged Victory in the state of Arkansas. So I believe in the impossible, that no one is expendable, written large in every ache and pain, just growing hard and soft as we can get, being equal at being opposite. My memory gets bigger every single livelong day. So I won't swear a blessing, I'll swear a curse. It won't get better till it gets worse. One hand might wash the other in the blood of martyrdom. So it's cold pork chops and coffee black, seeds and stems and potholes, back to places that won't let me call them home. Yes, the old bojangle, the old soft shoe, leave tendons for the wrecking crew. But I sang to the dementia ward, and the bastards all sang back. Oh, I sang in the dementia ward, and the bastards all sang back. Isn't that silly? That came out to me all at once. I want to do one more solo, if that's all right, before the band squeaks back on. I'm going to try to get away with some stuff tonight. So when they sang in that dementia word, 'cause I used to sing primarily in nursing homes and stuff like that. So that's a folk singer's job, right? One of my favorite folk singers is in the room right now. Ken Waldman's in the back there. And I learned a lot from Ken about playing for kids and playing for old folks and stuff like that. And well, going where you were needed, you know, and trying to do work that was needed. So when I was looking for work and singing in the libraries and stuff, the song that they would know in every single Alzheimer's word, cannot make this up, was "Show me the way to go home. I'm tired and I want to go to bed." You know the song? And I had a little drink about an hour ago and it went right to my head. I was so fun. Anywhere I roam, by land or sea or foam. You guys remember too well, you don't know it. Right? I always thought that was fascinating that they all knew the same song, and it was kind of a raunchy one from the 20s. And you know, I wouldn't want to be like, oh man, what gorgeous traditional song is that? They were like, oh, that was a pop song in the 20s. Like, it was so, you know, we're going to be in the dementia word going like, pink pony club. That's folk music, right? It's better than it sounds. Just music for people. All right. I want to do one for terrible fathers. You know who you are. It's called The Arrangements. Takes place at a funeral. He was dead inside my head long before he died. Making the arrangements felt natural, felt nice. No medicine for saving him from cigs and booze and salt. Feels pretty nice to say I thought his sadness was my fault. So let's pour one out for the bastard. It's still sad when assholes die. Or you can pour your drink out in the sink. Go on and live your life. I hear his drunk footfalls through bedroom walls. Find comfort in the sound. But he's gone and I'm my own father now. I was drooling, I was foolish. The first time that you saw me, said your eyes were like a Jersey cow, your tongue so clean and country. In all those drunk disasters, did you ever feel the same? Do you think I want these feelings? Chose my face or chose my name? So don't ask about blame or forgiveness. You're still sad when bad love dies. You think I'm full of shit and you're over it. Take the last word in my pride. 'Cause I'm my Father's spitting image, and I spit upon the mirror. And so the old man is still here. And I know that I'm gonna go soon. My heart's also not that strong. It was written in the stars about 1,000 light years long. But I feel it all start to dissolve in a cemetery's rain. And I know about 1,000,000 men that feel about the same. So let's pour one out for the bastard. Even bastards need their friends. Or you can pour your drink out in the sink. You got the last laugh in the end. All the arrangements are in order. I might buy the bar around. 'Cause I'm my own father now. So don't ask about blame or forgiveness. I ain't one for choosing sides. He was full of shit, now we're over it. I'm glad that we survived. I see the earth did not crack open. No one opened up the clouds. It's all right. I'm my own father now. Oh, I'm my own father now. Thanks, friends. Thanks for letting me work it out in public. I'm gonna bring the band back on. That's not about my dad, but it is about he is in it. That was weird to play it for him. I thought he was gonna die. We all thought he was gonna die, and then he pulled through, and then I had to play that song for him. It was good punishment for me. It brought us closer together, you know. It's good. If there was a lady that or somebody that I was in love with that I'd written a song about, and they were right there, I would have to address that elephant in the room too. Anyways, yeah, all these love songs are for all of you, so it is awkward, but I do like it. I want to do one about overdoses. There's Narcan on us in the van. We've also got a bunch of Plan B if you want any. It's our last day in Texas. We would love to send you home with it, or fight you in the alley. One or the other. The choice is yours. My only fighting tactic is the duck and kiss. So if you want to come at me and then have me duck and then plant one on you and run away, that's for some of you your funeral, for some of you maybe, I don't know, whatever you're into. So this is about drug overdoses. I wrote it after I lost a second or third friend to fentanyl, and I think we owe each other a lot, and that mutual aid and solidarity is like how we move through the world, not like permission from a government to be a good person or guidance from a religion, but actually like something that is innately good inside of us. I really believe that. But I think that what we are really owed, besides what we owe to each other, is a lot of apology and changed behavior from the American pharmaceutical industry and the big corporations that prop them up. So this is for all that, without any further preaching, and thank you. It's called When the Pills Were Off. 3, Oh, Father, forgive me for what I have done. Drove 200 miles for 6 inches of love, and he shined like the neon in the town's only bar. He was slick as the needle and slim as the scar. Oh, I lost friends to heroin, plenty more to loving them. Strung out on the highway like we couldn't read the signs. Now that I am older, I burn a little colder. I know how to read between the lines. But the only time I get these guilty thoughts is when the pills wear off. Oh, what I called a love affair, they say was a death of despair. And they say I'll get over him, I just need time. I think Jesus sent an angel, stuck needles in his thigh. And the old freight trains, they whistle and whine. Oh, they shake the whole damn house like we did when he is alive. Oh, I lost friends to heroin, plenty more to loving them. Strung out on the highway like we couldn't read the signs. Now that I am older, I burn a little colder. I know how to read between the lines. But the only time I get these guilty thoughts is when the pills wear off. What I called a love affair, they say was a death of despair. Don't ask me the things I have done. So selfish to fall for yourself in someone. I know that I want him, I always will. I don't think he could have known that it was fentanyl. But the only time I get these guilty thoughts is when the pills wear off. It's another night of thinking what we lost when the pills wear off. Thanks, friends. Oh, I want to introduce the second member of the band that I will introduce tonight, and his introduction is as follows. To my right, to your left, a veritable hagiographer of Midwestern Chinese cuisine, the secret admin of the Busch Light Drinkers Anonymous Facebook group, weighing in, we have the Doctor of Love, Dr. Grady P. Drug. He's going to be featured quite prominently on this next song. This is about gentrification. It's called The Van Life. 1, 2, 3. Well, I quit my job, making minimum wage. Look fairly well twice, knacked half my age. I'm looking for somewhere that can handle the rage of a young man on the run. With rarely paid taxes and shitty insurance and a glove box full of summons and warrants and a finely tuned wish things were that weren't, you could say I was looking for fun. So I bought an 01 Red Dodge Ram, about 2 pints of whiskey and a 30 of hams. Now I'm peeing in bottles, eating from cans. But you can't call me homeless, friends, 'cause I live in a van. They call it van life. I've been told this, it's a fine life. I've been sold this. It's a fine line between having to and choosing it. Let's roll it up, let's blow this. Well, the 7-Eleven is a sure bellyache. I subsist on this mere wake and bake. Talladega to Chicago's lake, I'll be your yodeling country queero. All the girls from Chickamauga to Passamaquoddy speak enviously of my van's rusty body. This sumbitch might just be a Bugatti the way I get it from 60 to 0. Now I'm 60 miles of Fargo on a northern track. I'm a burning rubber, no looking back. Pushing that thing like a maniac. I get tipped out like a stripper. No judgment in singles and crack. Ooh, I wish somebody would find Amtrak. Instead it's the van life. I've been told this, it's a fine life. I've been sold this. It's a fine line between having to and choosing it. Let's roll it up, let's blow this. It's a hot egg roll. Well, the South San Luis can be a little gritty. It's a far cry from Seattle's tent cities. All in all, life's pretty from the Starship Enterprise. Still a guy with a house and a big old lawn thinks this block's too good for me to park on. Bangs on my door with a letter that tells about 1,000 ways he can make my life hell. And he's worse than the guy who put a brick through my glass and robbed me blind and siphoned my gas. At least to know that asshole needed it bad. I wish that old boy well. Oh, in the meantime, a cop is banging on my door, telling me I can't park here no more. What do you do, friends? What do you say? You gotta rev up the engine or drive away. Chalk it up to the van life. I've been told this, it's a fine life. I've been sold this. It's a fine line between having to and choosing it. Let's roll it up, let's blow this. Put it in overdrive, so hey. Lifestyle for certain folks. You got fractal highways, got friends like smoke. It all goes up. You end up alone. It's like the internet is your real home. Call of the wild, the call of the road. The endless search for a clean commode. I'm a trucker of emotional payloads on a 5-string guitar. I'm a public park patron, I'm a library sleuth, I'm a thrift store grifter of Western suits. I'm ringing out 3 chords in the truth like a wash rag on a bar. Every time I'm feeling down on my luck, think I might trade it in for a couple of bucks. I hear some guy like Elon Musk talk about how we're all gonna get cyber trucks. I think, God, life must be easy when you're one of these dang billionaires. And I'm pretty sure that I prefer the van life. I've been told this, it's a fine life. I've been sold this. It's a fine line between having to and choosing it. Let's roll it up, let's smoke her down. It's a big rig, new town, same old night, the whole world over, whole world over. Sitting sad, wondering why meritocracy's a lie. Oh, let's roll it up. Let's blow this. Oh, man. So I always thought there was no money above the 5th fret. And then I got into this business to be a boss of people, I guess, right?
Well, I feel like I need to have a talk with management or something. I don't know.
I can call them up. Yeah, call HR. HR is what I call HR, right there. Your words, not mine. I came to country music kind of late. I grew up with bluegrass and old-time music, which are, similar. They're country adjacent, but I hadn't listened to a lot of like good seminal records until I was like in my early 20s. So I first heard all of Willie Nelson's seminal album, The Red-Headed Stranger, from a woman that I was in love with who could play all of Willie Nelson's seminal album, The Red-Headed Stranger, but only if she'd had too much to drink, and was brave enough to do it, and usually she couldn't remember if she'd done it the next day. So she would wake up ashamed the next day and say, Red-Headed Stranger, and I would say, Red-Headed Stranger. So this is for her. It's called My Baby Sings All to the Red-Headed Stranger, sometimes when she's too drunk to cry. With a Stone County girl, she was rough as the country is wide, wild as the bramble or the blackberry tangle, sweet as the berries thereby. Now the soldier has his rifle, and the hangman has his noose. My love has got her overalls and a tongue so sharp and loose. She's 3 beers deep in the throes of that poetry, making me vows she can't keep. She says she's unhappy, so damn unhappy in love, but she can't tell me why. My baby sings all of the red-headed stranger, sometimes when she's too drunk to cry. Quiet drum shuffle and the taps of her shoes, oh, the peace of this cold, lonesome place. And sober she might not remember the words, and Sunday's reserved for amazing grace. Now the preacher has his Bible, and the carpenter his tools. But my love has got that 6-string box, and the words so soft and cool. She's 6 beers deep in the throes of that poetry, making me vow she can't keep. She says she's unhappy, so damn unhappy in love, but she can't tell me why. My baby sings all of the red-headed stranger, sometimes when she's too drunk to cry. Oh, my baby sings all of the red-headed stranger, sometimes when she's too drunk to cry. I want to invite our friend and tour manager Marshall Tennermeyer out here. Marshall, are you back there? We lost. Oh, huzzah! Would you be a lamb and grab that little puppet show, that cranky show? Marshall's the only guy in this operation who has any clue what's going on. A tour manager is a jack of all and a master of most. So I don't know if you're familiar with this concept, but if you're pissed off about like America or about like a concept that's too big for you to understand, you can make a little puppet show out of paper about it. So that's what we've done. Everything that you see on this set, this stuff that we've hung here, is all made with stuff begged, borrowed, and stolen. The cheapest canvas that you can buy. These little critters are just pieces of wood taken from the back of a Home Depot. You can walk into a Home Depot and say, hey, can I get a sample of that color? You go in the next day, you walk in, and you say, hey, can I get a sample of that color? You do that for about a week, baby, you got a whole backdrop. So I mean to show you a bunch of little pieces of folk art, not to like gatekeep that process at all, but rather to say that fine art is a tax haven for the rich that refuse to pay the poor a living wage or make sure that we've got health insurance, and folk art is a thing that you make with almost nothing for your friends and loved ones. So that's why we bring it out. Thank you for being a lamb, Marshall. I appreciate you. Thank you for not being sheepish about that. He's been bashful about it before. He's been lambasting me after the show for all these jokes. This little cranky is called a two-headed lamb. I wrote this for all of my trans friends. This is for anybody that feels like or has ever been told that they weren't born right into the world. Two-headed lamb. Oh, the two-headed lamb. In the middle of a Tennessee midwinter rain, a two-headed lamb was by the old ewe born, and as she latched on to her mother, the cry rang out double. She was dead in the meadow by the morn. And before the fog had lifted, the coyotes picked her clean, and the old ewe resigned herself to lay in hay and bleed. And as he walked out that morning, the old man didn't look to see out of season sweet persimmons in the old growth tree. And I know scattered o'er the cursed world their frightening bones to find, the bones of people born too soon, and lambs too strange to survive, born only meat for wolves, or born a freak to humankind. Still there were four eyes shining bravely in the meadow that night. Two-headed lamb was found by the old man in a ditch by the meadow in the spring. And as he scratched his head and chuckled, said even God can make a fuck up. Oh, he overlooked an ordinary thing. It was twice the robin singing in the old growth tree. Thank you, friends. Yeah, I have no experience at making anything at all, and so if you want to make something like that, I'll tell you how to do it. We try to love everybody. We're not very good at it. It says on our Tinder profiles that we'll take anything that we can get. Well, not necessarily. I'm just speaking for myself, but I know that these guys are all in the same boat that I am in some capacity. We haven't discussed the fullest capacities, and I would.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
I went out with a shark yesterday.
Go on.
Love bites, yeah.
Just keep swimming, right?
Plenty of fish in the sea, you know.
What is that line of the old folk song? If I was a fish in the deep blue sea, I'd want all the ladies to be sharks so they could eat me.
Well, you can't be saying stuff like that.
I know. We're
at work right now.
So yeah, I've been working on my interpersonal boundaries. That's why I wear a belt and suspenders all the time. It's because many boundaries between my pants and the floor as we can get. The only group of people that I hate in all of this attempt to love everybody, all this being a little fish amongst all you sharks, is I hate magicians. And I get filled with rage when I have to watch magicians because I have too much in common with them. Like a banjo-playing folk singer, a magician plays for tips in many of the worst bars in America and very rarely gets tipped out any kind of a living wage and is the reason for nuisance and busking ordinances all over the country. So this is me trying to make peace with those magicians. This is called Tulsa's Last Magician.
Oh, Tulsa's last magician got his start at 4, pulled a quarter from his own ear and spun it on the floor. Said there's no good tricks but old ones, and lying ain't that hard. So he saved up all his quarters and he bought a deck of cards. And he learned ragtime piano. Those teachers thought him slow. He got a black belt in karate from a pawn shop video. And he'd practice all his worst mistakes in a dirty bathroom mirror. Oh, and when his parents drank, he learned to disappear. And his classmates thought him funny, good at sleight of hand. But he had this grand finale they just couldn't understand. Oh, it's hard to tell the whole truth of a family sawed in half. And that's why Tulsa's last magician left his home so fast. Oh, down and out in Reno, he went broke in Santa Fe, turning tricks on Los Sueños out in California. But they pushed him up against the wall, said, buddy, get a grip. So he learned to set himself on fire on the Las Vegas Strip. And he wandered down to Tampa, blew everybody's minds, 'cause the crowd was cheap and easy there on beer and blowing wine. He said, I wonder where my dollar went, how'd the flower bloom so fast? He said, I can't reveal my secrets, they rarely failed to ask. Yeah, the crowd all thought him funny, good at sleight of hand. But he had this grand finale they refused to understand. They demanded explanation when the card pulled was their own. And that's why Tulsa's last magician lost his faith and headed home. He said he'd learn computers like his second foster dad, and free range all the rabbits that were living in his hat.
His investments all went swimmingly, had the cash on hidden strings. His promotions were a certainty, could make the numbers sing. Now time and space is easy for magic to control. Still, it was 40 years of working before he noticed he was old. Now his great escape and act is just untying both his shoes. And most days he's in his easy chair yelling at the news. And the weatherman is funny, talking with his hands, but black clouds are coming in. Oh, no one understands how somebody's true religion is always someone else's joke. And that's why Tulsa's last magician kind of just went up in smoke. So friends, if you're the kind that thinks no one quite gets quite who you are, like you're a cobbler or mechanic in this age of flying cars, if you think that you see right behind what's right before our eyes, you might be a small town's last magician in disguise. And we need you to be funny, be good at sleight of hand, 'cause there's a grand finale and we can't hope to understand. There's a 1 in 52 chance. It's real magic and it's true. Won't you please help us believe? Won't you please help us believe in you? Whose shirt are you in?
Angela's.
Yeah, this is in Angela's shirt, hailing from the state of California. Connecticut. But then he moved to California, which is true, yes?
Also true.
A man I'm still getting to know. A man who is purported to be all hat and no cattle, and yet rarely wears a hat, and I have never seen around cattle. Mr. J. Barr, Mr. Joey Berglund. On the big bass fiddle. I want to do this one called Jay Bird. We've got time for about 4 more here. We're going to go over, like a little bit over 90 minutes. If you have a place to be, if your dog is starving, our feelings will not be hurt. But we want to be sure that you feel like you got your value if you drove all the way out here from Houston and encountered a bunch of bikers. We want to give you all the chutzpah that you'll need to go out there and fight the biker wars later. I mean, to go out there and do the old duck and kiss on all the bikers later. So statistically, everybody in the room is likely to either need the number 988 or to love somebody that needs the number 988. The number 988 is the suicide hotline and support, the crisis hotline number. I've called it before. I talked to a young man named Jeffrey who is so soft-spoken he talked me down from a ledge. Many people in my family have used it as a little public service announcement. I'd like for us all to say 988 together. 988. It's free to use, god dang it. In the meantime, this is for all that. It's called Jaybird.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Tried, but you never got better. The cops got confused by your suicide letter. Not outwards, but inwards. Used too many big words. No surprise, your body never was found. I swear I find your body all over this town. Oh, hey, Jaybird, where you finally found a home. You're a long time running now, you're long time gone. Hey, Jaybird, I'm doing just fine. My head is a wreck and my chest's on fire. My head is a wreck and my chest's on fire. I swear I saw your spirit flying up above me, still thinking how you disappointed everybody. The red rage of doomsday came to your lips. You never had the guts to be the protagonist. No Dungeons and Dragons protagonist. Oh, hey, Jaybird, where you finally found home. You're a long time running, now you're a long time gone. Hey, Jaybird, I'm doing just fine. My head is a wreck and my chest's on fire. My head is a wreck and my chest's on fire. Won't you wipe clean the slate? Won't you roll away the stone? All the day is evil enough on its own. I see the jaybird sitting on his trash can throne. Oh, who am I to sing before I know the song? I'm always gonna sing before I know the song. I'm always gonna sing before I know the song. Oh, hey, jaybird, where you finally found home. You're a long time running, now you're gone, gone, gone. Hey, Jaybird, I'm doing just fine. My head is a wreck and my chest's on fire. My head is a wreck and my chest's on fire. That begins the sing-alongular apportionment of the evening now. We're going to do 3 more songs, and all 3 of them are going to be sing-alongs. The first one is the one that the internet likes. So that means that some people might know it already, and so you're more than welcome to learn it that way. Also, you can just learn it from like visual and sonic cues. I was born at a very young age. I was born a child, in fact. I was born angry, and I don't really know why. My mother, and this will give you, if you need perspective on what's wrong with me, when I've said that to my mother, and she was like, well, you know, I'm not sure I could ever have given you enough milk. Is this oversharing? I don't know. So my mother that's why she says I'm angry. But I got less angry the older that I got. So I still sing this angry song basically for my mother. Even when I was trying to be an outlaw, I was mostly just running around trying to look cool, stealing bottles of Mad Dog 2020 from the corner store, sleeping on the street instead of somebody else's apartment I could have fully accessed because I wanted to be tough, you know. Getting kicked off of street corners for playing banjo terribly, and then writing folk punk songs for my mom. So this is badass as hell. It's for my mom. It's called Cheap Cocaine. 1, 2, 3, 8 miles out of Galesburg, I'm staring at the rain. 8 ball left of the cheap cocaine, and I'm looking at the sunlight light through the pines. Couldn't tell you what it is, it's always been mine. Now that I'm gone, I think of the man with a meth pipe clutched in his bone-thin hands. Said, hey brother, I hope you get straight. I know I won't meet him at the pearly gates. To sing, hey mama, I've been staring at the rain. A little heartbreak, a little soul pain. I've been up all night on the cheap cocaine, trying to make it better when it's always the same. Well, I made a few new friends in a Rockford bar. I told them all lies. I said I was in charge of the after party where the girls would be loose. I partied with the metalheads with gin and juice. Hungover as hell, I slept in shit on the lawn. I'm tired of 20-somethings and their punk rock songs. Wake up in the morning, stumble towards the dawn, saying, how you doing, boy? It's been too long. Saying, how you doing, boy? It's been too long. And sing, hey mama, I've been staring at the rain. A little heartbreak, a little soul pain. I've been up all night on the cheap cocaine, trying to make it better when it's always the same. On the streets of Chicago with Sidekick Sally, I was hitting up the bars on Viagra Alley, where the men pick up women not half their age. All I had for them was my tears and my rage. I thought it was a fight. I went for my knife, and the man shook my hand with his kids and his wife, and I was so ashamed I hung back and cried. All that to St. Peter, wait till I die. Leave all that to St. Peter, wait till I die. And sing, hey mama, I've been staring at the rain. A little heartbreak, a little soul pain. I've been up all night on the cheap cocaine, trying to make it better when it's always the same. I've been up all night, I've been staring at the sky. I'm so lonely, but I couldn't tell you. I wouldn't want to tell you why. Nice to have everything go wrong at once. I love it. Hell yeah. Oh, man. I've done some cool shit in the last couple of years. I've gotten to open for Tyler Childers this year. And the way that you know that a song has done, like, not the best, but okay, is when somebody comes up to you after you play for 20,000 people and they're like, man, I love that cover, that one song you did about cocaine, and then you're the guy that wrote it. And so my grandmother always told me it was rude to wake a sleepwalker, so I just said, yeah, the guy that wrote it is an asshole, but he's doing his best. I think I caught a couple of you singing along. Now, this one's going to be an entrapment scheme where I'm going to say words and then you say words back. And if you don't do it, the whole song falls apart. This is a little bit of collective imagining where we collectively make one of the dumbest songs that anyone, I think, has ever written. This is called Boy Howdy Hot Dog. And it's a little bit of a thought experiment. And the thought experiment is that every time I say boy howdy, you say the words hot dog. That's the only thoughts. But it's still an experiment. You know, it doesn't matter how simple the control group is. I mean, how simple excuse me for calling you simple. So let's try that. Boy howdy. Very good. Okay, just come at it like you're mad at it, like right on top of me. Boy howdy. Good, nice. 1, 2, 3. Them coals are turning bright red, firewood's in the truck bed, river's running low this time of year. Ragweed's on the turnpike, bedrooms, mostly Christmas lights. Sorry, friend, I don't lend tools. Here comes, boy, howdy. Pretty good life, I got a pretty little house, pretty big wife. Lets me fry her pork chop twice a week. Well, hot plate, baby went and made a cake. I never seen a heaven that did not have a snake. Well, hot plate, baby went and made a cake. I never seen a heaven that did not have a snake. Blue Jays, a mean-ass bird, ugliest song you've ever heard. Get off my porch, I'll kick your ass. Everything she does is magic. I'll watch her catch a lizard. Careful or his tail will come right off. Boy, howdy. Pretty good life. I got a pretty little house. Pretty big wife. Lets me fry her catfish twice a week. Well, swamp roast, sweat stain, get money, make your raincoat, beer tin can, Cadillac, Mustang. Well, swamp roast, sweat stain, get money, make your raincoat, beer tin can, Cadillac, Mustang. hearts born to fish, forced to work. Don't let them tell you what your broken heart's worth. Fire ant on the sugar trail, tail feathers on a nightingale, arrowheads and bones is all you'll find. Boy, howdy, pretty good life. I got a pretty little house, pretty big wife. Lets me wear her underwear anytime I please. Well, she's thick as a forest and a cavalry of bushwhackers. Never seen a ball number, bullets wouldn't scatter. She's thick as a forest and a cavalry of bushwhackers. Never seen a ball number, bullets wouldn't scatter. Goddamn, I'll be go to hell. This bar's mostly peanut shells. If you drive, we can play pool. Hot pocket, sweet potato pie, Saturday, Sunday rolling by. Take off your pants, let's watch TV. Boy, howdy, pretty good life. I got a pretty little house, pretty big wife. Can't recall my ex-wife's name. But the love you lost is right where you left it. All right, gone forever, friend, crack a beer, forget it. Yeah, the love you lost is right where you left it. All right, crack a beer, go ahead, forget it. Them coals are turning bright red, firewood's in the truck bed, rivers running low this time of year. Boy, howdy, hot dog. Thank you, friends. All right, thank you so good, pals. Thank you so much for sticking with us. We've got time for one more here. If you thought that this was all total bullshit, if you thought that we were making it up entirely on the spot, you are partially correct. But if we can leave you with a single sentiment, it would be this one, that your heart is a big tent, that you got to let everybody in, that it doesn't matter who they are, if they do right, or where they've been, everybody gets in. So if we can leave you with that sentiment, that would be good. I think in the upcoming couple of weeks, it might be hard to hold that sentiment close to you for reasons that we need not discuss at this exact moment. But I want to try to get us to sing this together, even if you don't really believe this idea in your heart of hearts, because it's nice to try on for a second and see if it feels good, see if you can manage it, see if you can abide with it for a moment. So we're going to sing that sentiment gospel style. I'm going to go, oh, your heart's a big tent. I'm going to get the right key here in just a second. This brand new harmonica holder, I swear to God, they keep making these things complicated when they were perfected in the era of Bob Dylan, but this one's got a fucking app, I swear. It's a subscription service harmonica holder. I haven't been paying my dues. This is I'm on my dad's subscription service. I'm on his prescription too, but he doesn't know that I take his pills. So I'm gonna in the key of C. Oh my God, are you serious, dude? Thing's gonna waggle at me in a way that would be alluring if it was Saturday night, but sorry, I'm getting lurid this evening. I don't know why. The veil is thin. It's all see-through. I can see all the ghosts being nude under their sheets. Key of C if you're playing along at home. Oh, your heart's a big tent.
Oh, your heart's a big tent.
Let's try that again. I'll give it to you. Oh, your heart's a big tent.
Oh, your heart's a big tent.
Excellent. Okay, all right. You've already got it. You gotta let everybody in.
You gotta let everybody in.
Doesn't matter who they are, if they do right or where they've been. That part's my part. Right, okay. Some of you know it already. That's insane. Okay, that's great. Very fine. So,
You know what to say.
you're going to teach it to everybody else. What was that? You watch a YouTube video on the way here? Well, that's cheating. I'm just kidding.
Willi Carlisle sing-along.wmv tutorial.
See, the thing that I want to do is make that into a subscription service, so that it's always. So here, I'm going to give that to you one more time. Doesn't matter who they are, if they do right or where they've been. Everybody gets in.
Everybody gets in.
Friends, that's so good. We are going to throw you directly to the wolves, and you're going to trust your neighbors to not judge you for being as silly as you are. That's just out of tune enough for us to play it. Good. 1, 2, 3. This morning a miracle happened as promised. The rising of the world's closest star. And the almanacs warned us the fast this coming weather might blow us away like dandelion bars. Oh, if I had a nickel for every time I've taken shelter from the storm alone and naked in my bed sheets, I could pay off all my loans, buy some nicer clothes, find a job that didn't always scare me. I've been trying not to think before my third cup of coffee. Oh, your heart's a big tent. Gotta let everybody in. Doesn't matter who they are, if they do right or where they've been. Everybody gets in. Still not really sure. Somewhere between I'm living and I believe I can fly. Well, what's up? So I saw the devil in a used bookstore. He was ripping up and spitting on Catcher in the Rye. And I'm coming to myself like a man finding religion. Am I baptized, drowned, or washed in the blood? If life's an open field, I'd like to plant a garden, get ready for the fire and the flood. I need a theory of all love. Oh, your heart's a big tent. Gotta let everybody in. Doesn't matter who they are, if they do right or where they've been. Everybody gets in. Not a good one. I'll leave that to you smarter ones. The soul is an idiot. It doesn't care why. Oh, whatever you do with it, the gift's a really simple one. Sing until you love yourself and love until you die. Oh, I've seen in trees like pillars full of blood, chlorophyllic laughing, swaying in their glory. Seen the sparrows in the air, a light on branches there. There's no way they're afraid of being 30. If I can't live clean, then I'd better love dirty. Oh, your heart's a big tent. I'll let everybody in. Doesn't matter who they are, if they do right or where they've been. Everybody gets in. Thanks so much for having us out to this historic-ass venue here in gorgeous Galveston. We're really proud of the old quarter that it exists. Long may it reign as one of the best places to catch singer-songwriters in the whole goddamn world. My name is Willi Carlisle. That's Grady P. Drug. That's Sophie Mae Wellington. That's Baxter Elkins, Mr. Bar J. Bar, Joey Berglund back there on the bass fiddle. Friends, let's sing this one more time together. I want to do it for the idea that human equity is not a project that's out of reach in our lifetime. I want to do it for the idea that we could have a free Palestine and also a free Sudan, that we can work towards having free people all over the world on a basic level, that we can take care of people's most basic needs. That part of doing that is not judging your neighbor for what they believe, but trying to take care of them as well as yourself as best as you're able in mutually defined networks of total support. I want to do it for the idea that the working spirit and the working class solidarity is on the ballot coming up soon, and don't forget about it. Let's do it together. Oh, your heart's a big tent. You gotta let everybody in. It doesn't matter who they are, if they do right or where they've been. Everybody